Yo, what's good, y'all? You Dub back here again, here in 2019. Let's get it, bring y'all more new, fresh content. Now, this is a video that, you know, I, it's a concept that I thought was always obvious in One Piece that I never really thought necessary to bring a video up to. But, now, I did a video months ago, and I was scrolling through some of my old catalog, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely did do that Ronin and Monk video with Zoro and Mad Monk Uroge, right? And it's like I thought I like to do video that does offshoot, not obvious topics, and discuss these things because I think Oda has a lot of subtleties that he likes to do, and I think it's great, as a discussion and just interesting, just eccentric things. Luffy and Kid was always to me an obvious parallel. I don't know where this whole the Surgeon Death Trafalgar D Water Law. People love Law, and Law is a cool character, just like Ace was. But I always thought of Law like Ace. They're not that dude. But Luffy and Kid were those dudes. Now, this video kind of spawns from a couple things, right? First, Brago Diaz did a video, and then I got some notifications, still dealing with notifications, where pretty much Luffy downplayed Kid hype because Brago is self-admittedly is a kid guy, and when you have agendas, that's what happens. Now you can say, well, when you love Luffy so much, how can you? Y'all know I speak objectively. Plus, I happen to be a fan of Kid. Kid is one of my favorite top 20 characters in the series. Kid is awesome. He's like 13 or something. I've been like Kid. I've been said Kid had Congress hockey. I was rock with Kid. Kid is the truth. Don't get it twisted. All right, I have him, in fact, ranked number 2 as far as power scaling amongst the worst generation outside of Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, obviously. We don't include the Yonko. Um, Also, right after Luffy, I've been had all of post time skip. Pre time skip, I think I had. Hold on, how did I have it? Did I have kid number? Did I have kid 1 or 2? I'm trying to remember where I put former Rear Admiral Red Flag X Drake. I think I might have had him 1. But anyways, kid was like always like top 2 amongst the when it was a supernova and then the worst generation outside of Blackbeard. So Kid is the truth. Don't get it twisted. Kid is about that life. All right. And he showcased everything, but he parallels Luffy so dynamically. Also parallels Luffy? Teach. But then you could also make the argument that Sir Crocodile parallels Luffy. Gecko Moria, questionable. Gecko Moria is more like some other people, but Sir Crocodile, Teach, um, and what's the name? Kid. Some may argue Joker. There's Luffy has a number in Rob Lucci. Luffy has a number of parallels, all right, in the series. And what do I mean by parallels? I mean if you look at them, they have differences, but there's a lot of similarities. Joker is more antithetical. Okay, he's more of the antithesis rather than a parallel in the normal regard. When you look at what's the face? Rob Lucci, the same thing. They're more on the antithesis than the natural parallel. But you look at Sir Crocodile, he parallels Luffy extraordinarily so. He's like, what would have happened to Luffy if Luffy had a loss early on to the Yonko, got smashed, and became jaded? That's Sir Crocodile. It's almost like Oda's giving us different versions of how Luffy could have been, right? You look at Teach. Teach is the darker half of Luffy. If Luffy was older, he was more sinister, he's more cunning, more maniacal. Okay. That's Teach. Teach is that darker one, right? And you look at Kid. Kid is the more hot headed, gung ho, crueler, if you will, version of Luffy. So Luffy has his parallels, and in fact, I could probably tackle all of those parallels. So this is actually video. Scrap just the Luffy versus Luffy and Kid. I'm going to deal with all of those. We're going to get everything in one shot. All right. Because y'all know I don't like to milk a bunch of different videos, and I got too much on my plate as is with videos. I have plenty of stuff I need to do. So we're gonna get Luffy's parallels. All right. This is Wonder. Y'all know how I be, and I can unexpectedly change in the middle of a video, so it's okay. So let's start with Kid. All right, since he and Luffy, understand this. Luffy is now 19 years old. Kid, I believe, is 23 post time skip. All right, you look at it. They had a similar bounty. Kid was 315. Luffy's 300 mil. Now we don't know all of Kid's exploits. We know like none of them pre time skip, right? But we know he had a higher bounty because this dude would kill civilians. Luffy wasn't about that life, right? So that's one of the biggest differences between them, all right? Is that Kid is willing to embrace more of the savagery, his darker side. When it comes to Luffy, and I still actually, shoot, shall I do this video today or shall I do it another day? But I do, for years, I've been kind of hinting at that I need to talk about Luffy's morality. I need to really do other characters' morality videos too because I need to talk about Born Freaks. I mean, I've kind of spoken on them before in the past, but I really need to do comprehensive videos of these. So I may actually start doing those videos. So there's that. But Luffy, while he doesn't have a definitive moral code, he's not trying to be a hero. Luffy is about freedom. And because he's about freedom, he's not going to go out of his way to inflict harm on others. Okay? You actually have to do some dumb shit to try to get on Luffy's, bad side. Kid is more hot-headed and doesn't so much give a damn. So there is that. Um, I think we all would agree on that. Another thing is, you look at the parallel though, is both of them are young. Okay? Both of them are young men, right? But one of the biggest differences is that Luffy, he came up more naive. All right, both are naive, more so inexperienced. Okay, but Luffy, he has this innocence and purity about him. Even though he's not truly innocent, he knows how the world is. He hasn't let the world corrupt him. Kid has. You can tell this by his actions. You can tell this by when he entered the new world, how he dealt with those other pirates. You see what I'm saying? So you have these two key factors. There's that Luffy, you know, his morality is geared towards freedom. Kid doesn't have that grounding. So Kid just does what Kid does. Kid acts, both of them act. Both of them are men of action, right? Both of them are conquerors. But Luffy also he's had mentors in Shanks and in Jinbei and the Dark King Silver's Rayleigh, to where Luffy had no issue with restraint. I had to try to fix the lighting. Kid has issues with restraint. This is obvious. So that's a third point about them that's different. Okay? Also, you look at it as their types of leadership. Luffy's about family. He's about allowing his crew to do what they do. Kid, he doesn't showcase himself to be a competent leader of men, of people. Okay? We know Luffy, we saw that in Udon. Luffy's a leader of men. Luffy's the kind of man I want to follow. Kid, we don't see that. Yeah, he's strong, he's powerful, he's got the potential, but he does not. He's a loner, bro. Kid is a loner and a half, man. Luffy is a man of the people. You hear that phrase, right? Luffy, it's like what Hawkeye says. Luffy has the ability to turn, pretty much anyone into his allies. Foes, it doesn't matter. Friends, he turns them into his allies. Kid doesn't have that. Kid doesn't have that level of charisma. Okay, that Luffy does. People talk about, oh, Luffy, plot armor, Luffy. No. Luffy, because of his character, causes people to rally to his cause. See what I'm saying? Kid doesn't do that. Kid isolates himself. He pushes people away. Now you start to see the psychological difference between the two and how they ended up. Look at how they're acting in Wano right now. Luffy, by his very presence, is starting a revolution, a rebellious situation, is stirring it up. He's stirring the hearts of men. Kid says, I screw alliances, I've been betrayed, screw all that, I ain't gonna do it anymore. This dude, Luffy, has worked with people who were his enemies, who he directly fought. Sir Crocodile, Buggy the Clown, now the Star Clown, Bellamy. He was friendly towards Bellamy, even though Bellamy had that dirt on him. Kid is like, you screw me once, I'm done with you. See what I'm saying? That is a fundamental difference. Kid is the more insecure, darker aspects. Luffy is the brighter aspects. Luffy is more of a positive, optimistic dude. Both are realists. But Luffy favors the optimism, while Kid goes into the pessimistic side more so. Again, both are realists. You say, how do I say they're realists? I'm a realist myself, and I see these tendencies. Both are realists. Luffy's no fool. Kid is no fool. But their actions are fundamentally different. See, people get this misconception. Just because you view things in a certain lens, that means you're stupid. Luffy's far from stupid. Far from stupid. You can't be a successful pirate captain and you think you're going to be stupid. Luffy always know what time it is. He's never once made a piss poor executive decision as a captain. Personal decisions, yes, he's made several. But when it comes to his crew, he's never made a bad one. Show me one time in the series and I can show you a track record to prove my point. Kid has made executive bad decisions. He's making one right now by not allying himself with the potential winning side. How are you going to solo dolo go against the fucking Yonko when they have fleets? You're not Roger, kid. You're not even stronger than Luffy, and Luffy got one shot by Kaido. What the hell you think this is? Look at Luffy. Luffy training. What is Kid doing? What is this man doing? Don't give me that it's Oda writing. It's the personalities of the people. This has been evidence from day one. This man talks a great game. But when it comes to business time, Kid don't have the right mentality. But when we move on, let's go to Teach. Teach the scheming for decades. Look at Luffy. Luffy, he bought that business right now. Luffy say, I ain't waiting. I ain't going at all these plans and all that manipulation, and no, I ain't doing that. I'm going in here on my adventure, on my time, once again about freedom. Now, here's a key part. Blackbeard says he's a man of dreams. Man of dreams. Luffy's a man of freedom. Now you can say, wait, Wonder, what you saying? You saying don't be about dreams? That ain't what I said. I said there's a fundamental difference between freedom and dreams. Here's why. I'm about to get into a little philosophy as a pre-warn, but y'all know what y'all get from my channel. You know, y'all like going in depth. I like going in depth. Freedom is the ability to do anything you want to. Okay? If you're free, there are no restrictions. Now, there do need to be restrictions reasonably on freedom, but there are natural restrictions on us. For example, we can't fly. Right? We ain't Superman out here. We need oxygen. We need food. We need rest and sleep. Right? Uh, you know, uh, we can't just have sex anytime we want to. If that's something like that, for men, we can't just give birth. Right? We need a woman for that. So there you go. We can't just run indefinitely. I can go on and on. We can't breathe underwater. There are natural limitations to us, to our freedom. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. But Luffy is about freedom. It's important. That's imperative to his character. Teach is about dreams. Now, dreams, a lot of people have a lot of dreams. But dreams take work to materialize. Dreams are big. Dreams are grandiose. They're lofty. Why does that matter in a differential thing? Here's why. Freedom, if you're free, you're going to act. You're going to do as you see fit. Period. If you're free to move and travel, then you can get up and move and travel anytime you want to. Spontaneously. Let's say you wanted to go on a day trip. hit the road, whether on the bus, on a plane, on in a car, just feel like you want to go hiking that day or walking, right? Where I'm at, there's a lot of people talk about hiking. It's not pre-planned. You just do. You know what I'm saying? On your day off, you get to choose what the hell you want to do. If you want to sleep in, which is totally fine. I've had those days. Those days, you want to go out on the night of town or even after work. Let's just say, damn, I want to go out. You're gonna go out. If you don't have any obligations to family, to children, anything like that. If you're not married and you're a bachelor, then or you're a bachelorette, then shoot, you get to just decide what you want to do with your time. That's freedom. That's how Luffy lives. Luffy is about this adventure. He's like, yeah, there's a whole world and sea out here to see, baby. There's a plenty of islands and people to meet, places to be. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Usopp and Nami are like, I don't know. Usopp's arguably the greatest strategist in the series. You got like first been Batman, Dragon, and such. But Luffy, Usopp's up there. He's one of the great strategists. He plans. Law, he's a planner. Law, wait. Luffy ain't about that. Nami, she's a navigator. She's planning. She'll wait. Dreams need work. They need timing. They need preparation to be able to fulfill. Excuse me. You don't, for example, just up and afford a trip to Australia if you're not in the United States. You don't just go to China. You don't just go to Israel and Jerusalem. You don't just go to Rome. You need timing, right? If you have a dream of becoming a professional athlete, that takes a lot of time and dedication or thought to be able to happen. You don't just up and become a professional basketball player, football player. You don't just become a professional boxer. You don't just become, a professional chef. These dreams take time and they take effort. They take years in a lot of cases to achieve, right? That's Blackbeard. Follow a man's dreams. Blackbeard was willing to sit for decades. You think Luffy's sitting for decades number one, under someone. Now, this don't mean that Black Teach was wrong. He's been successful. Kid has been successful in his own regard. Teach has become a Yonko. But wait a second. Luffy's a Yonko candidate at 19. He just set sail for 2 years, bro. Teach wait for decades. You see the fundamental difference of how they be. Also, Teach, because of his more manipulative, scheming nature. Now, manipulation isn't inherently a bad thing. I want to clear this up because it's like jealousy. They're neither negative or positive. Unlike envy. Envy's negative. Anger. None of these are necessarily bad things. It's how you utilize it. Okay. There is good manipulation, rewards. If your dog does good, you reward your dog. If your dog does bad, you punish the dog. Same thing with a child. Teach decided he wanted to take not the easy way out. No, no, no. If he wanted the easy way out, he wouldn't have waited decades. He's an opportunist. He's an opportunist looking at the cost benefit analysis. Teach is a businessman, is what he is. Crazy as hell, but he a businessman. Okay? Luffy ain't a businessman. Luffy is a doer. He's a go-getter. Okay? That's the kind of person he is. At best, he would be like a small business owner. Okay? He would be a self-employed kind of guy. When it comes to Teach is out here looking big business. This man is made a plan. This man, and we know he's opportunist because he wanted Luffy, but he's like, ooh, Ace is as good of an option, if not better. Let me go ahead and use that, get the Shichibukai, and then get in the Impel Down. Ooh, Luffy, in that whole riot, the prison break, let me go ahead and get the Impel Down prisoners. And ooh, let me go ahead get to the war and grab Whitebeard's get his Quake Devil Fruit, right? Ooh, Marco's trying to come at me. Let me go ahead and grab that Yonko position. Opportunities. Could have fought Sakazuki. He didn't think it was the right time. Could have fought Shanks. Didn't think it was the right time. Opportunist. He's a planner. He's a schemer. So that's a fundamental difference between them. And because he plans and schemes, when you're a planner and schemer, you're likely to go into some darker aspects. Okay? He's a much darker version of Luffy. A more sinister version. It doesn't mean he's all corrupted, but he's a villain nonetheless. You ever watch a show Survivor, for example? A show Survivor is beautiful for this. For the schemers, do we not tend to think of the schemers more as the villains in Survivor? Yes, we do. Because they're making plans, they're manipulating others, they're pulling puppetries. While Teach may have not done like Joker, some view him even as a worse villain than Joker, even though Joker thus far is the best villain we've seen showcased, even though Kaido is the real villain. Okay. But, it is what it is. But we view him so villainous. Why? Because he schemes, even though he hasn't done all that much. I remember Brago Diaz, Brago did a video saying, trying to justify, putting a defense for Teach, because again, Teach is like Luffy, just like Kid is like Luffy. It's just they take a different route and they have a different perspective and mentality. Now, let's finish up with Sir Crocodile. Sir Crocodile is older than all of them, right? Sir Crocodile, I believe, shoot, I have to go. I believe he's in late 40s. Anyway, Sir Crocodile's been around, right? Sir Crocodile, he was honestly probably Luffy. And then, like I said, he got smashed by Whitebeard Edward Newgate, and he recognized the levels of power. So he went back. He became monster. He became, he's doing a combination somewhere in the middle between what Teach is doing and what Joker's doing. Okay, as well as Gecko Moria. It's almost like all of them are the culmination of this, in the man of Sir Crocodile. The man's looking to manipulate a nation. He's looking to control in that regard. He's made an entire organization as far as a syndicate, the Baroque Work Syndicate, right? Um, Gecko Moria, he got that same treatment. So they're coming back and they're manipulating things. They're, using the Shichibukai as a means to build power. But see, here's the difference between him and Gecko Moria. This man, and I still think he needs to be confirmed to have Conqueror's Hockey as well, just like Teach does. When it looks like Sir Crocodile is like, oh, the good old New World. He was gung ho to go back. He just was much more jaded and cynical version of Luffy. He's seen shit. He's seen the things Luffy hadn't seen yet. See what I'm saying? He's like that older dude that you run across as a young person, right? As a kid, as a child, as a teen, adolescent, or as a young adult, young man or young woman. And that person, man or woman, is been through the ringer. Whether it been through some abusive relationships, been through a divorce, parenthood, done seen friends die, ODing, suicide, you name it, and it's like trying to teach you some things. And that's the thing about Sir Crocodile. Sir Crocodile, I want him on the crew. I want him as a Straw Hat because to me, first of all, him and Daz Bones are just phenomenal additions power wise. Zoro and Daz Bones is just great. You can see kind of a parallel between Zoro and Daz Bones, so you can go there. But it's almost like you could say, well, Sir Crocodile, how does he fit on the crew? Sir Crocodile, Jinbei is a great addition. Sir Crocodile can be that dude to say, yo, Luffy, yo, you need to think about some things, especially if Oda decided, especially if Oda was having One Piece to go longer, Luffy to get older. I would love the advice that Sir Crocodile could give Luffy. Luffy doesn't have to listen, but this kind of man with this ambition, I mean, he was ready on site to attack Whitebeard. Tell me that's not Luffy. So if you will, you see the parallel between Kid and Teach, but if you really think about it, the way I view it, Sir Crocodile is Luffy, just an older, jaded, cynical version of Luffy that's, become darker. He doesn't see the world as pristinely. Remember, he was one of those that was there at Roger's execution, and we never got to see his face. Okay? He's probably seen a lot of heartache in his time. But maybe because he sees Luffy, he's like, it gives him a reminder of how he used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like if this was, I'm gonna finish up with this. It's like if this was a darker version, an older version of Bruce Wayne, and then he meets his younger self, and he's like, "Damn, that's how I used to be." Or the same thing with Thor. Old King Thor versus Thor the Water. He's like, "Damn, I used to have that optimism. What the hell happened to me?" It's a reminder. We need to be reminded sometimes of how we are. So these are my perspective on it. Let me know what your thoughts are on all great characters. Don't get me wrong. Sir Crocodile is one of my top 10 favorite characters in the series. Kid is one of my top 15 favorite characters. Teach, I don't have anywhere placed yet because I think we need to see more. I think he's going to have an extraordinary sad backstory, just like I think Sakazuki's going to have probably the most tragic backstory, but no, it's another topic for another day. Unexpected One, like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts on this matter. And if you want to hear any more of these kind of videos, please let me know. And we'll see what we can do. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.